Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are working on the Buick Enclave again. Yeah, I know, it seems like there's a lot of maintenance and a lot of things that are going wrong with it, and yeah, it is. AC Delco, not the greatest, so you will have to replace parts left and right. And as long as you can do them yourself, it's not going to be too bad, but if it gets expensive if you have to pay somebody else to do it. Anyway, today's topic is going to be on the hot to cold blend door actuator. It actually went out on the passenger side. I replaced that a year and a half, 2 years ago before I started filming. Recently the driver side went, and now I ended up having to grab a flathead to change it to heat. So I had some heat during the winter, and now it gets warm during the day, so I would like it to go to cold if I wanted to. So we're going to change out this blend door actuator. I went and got a new one off Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. So this is the blend door actuator, and you just got your electrical connector that plugs right into it, and yeah, it just controls the little flap going from hot to cold. So a little $20 part will make your life miserable if it goes out when you really need it. So what I ended up doing is we really needed the heat, so I ended up getting a flathead screwdriver. I'll show you right here. You can see where you can actually put a flathead into there and twist it yourself. I did that, and now it's time to replace it. So let me show you what we gotta do to get to this one. The passenger side is a pain in the ass to get to. If that one goes out again, I will show you guys, but I hope it doesn't. Driver's side doesn't seem too bad, so let's get right to it. All right, so first things first is we've got to get this bottom cover off. There's your OBD2 deal. You can scan, do whatever you got to do. But as you can see, I already pulled the clips down, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. I have 3 of them, and now all I got to do is just pull them out. Once you get the tabs all the way down, and this whole thing will just drop. You're gonna pull it out. And I don't mind this, that's just the amp. Right up in here, there's the actuator right there. So you can see there's the electrical connector right there. There's one nut right there and one right back there. I'll turn on the light so you guys can see, but yeah, we're gonna take that off. And the tools that you're gonna need, it's gonna be a T20. Let's verify that. Yeah, so you got your T20 head right there, and then just a small little ratchet, and then take those clips out. Just a flathead. If you got the right tool to grip around that little tab, then great. Well, I don't, so yeah, just a T20 and you'll be able to get those out. So let's start on it. All right, so I got the light on, and now you can see all 3 of those bolts right there, up there, and right there. We're gonna have to undo all 3 of those and then release that connection right up here. So hopefully I can do this while I'm on camera. It's gonna be kind of hard to film and do this because I don't have a visual on it. Well, you get the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 3 of those bolts off. You can see where I'm talking about. And then undo that electrical connector, and we'll go from there. All right, so I do have all 3 of those off, as you can see. So now all I'm going to do is slide this out, and it pops right out. Okay. So that electrical connector, you can see that it is disconnected right there. All I did was just pull it out from that position right there. All right, so this is the old one and this is the new one. So not too bad. See how that is positioned right there? That's when it came off. So what I'm gonna do is I'll have to move that flapper valve that's inside, and that won't be too bad because it will have 2 flat spots on it, so you might be able to get a set of pliers onto it. So you can see that right there. And what I'll do is, oh, you can actually just spin it with your fingers, as I did. See if we can cover up that light a little bit. All right, so you can see the flat spot. You can actually move it by hand. It's fairly easy. See that? And that is what's causing you to not get hot or cold, depending on where it's at. Okay, so now with this one in the neutral position, what we're gonna do is, since it's in that neutral position, it's gonna allow hot and cold through it. So we're just gonna line that valve up and get it plugged in. And just take note of how you took it out. There we go. So now that I have that into place, I can just bolt up those 3 bolts, and then I'm gonna plug in this connector right into there, and we'll give it a shot. All right, so you can see I have all 3 of those bolts in right there. And now I'm just gonna grab that electrical connector. See if this is why I didn't film it, because it's really hard for me to position my hand to where you can actually see. And that's it. So now let's go ahead and fire the car up and see if this will actuate now. All right, so the car's on. Now, we got this on heat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down underneath the dash, and I'm gonna hit this cold button. You can see it's gonna go cold. And let's see if it actually actuates. So now we're going to cold. You can see it actuated right there. Now I'm going to go back to hot. You can see it going to hot now. All right, so now that we know that that's working, now all you got to do is just bolt everything back up. It's pretty simple. Slide this up underneath. Once you get it up underneath there, it'll just stay, and then you just put those tabs in. All right, so you can see it's simple as that. Just make sure you put your clamps back in, and that's it. All right, guys, so you can see that didn't take too long. I mean, if I didn't have to film and everything, you could probably do it in like 5 to 10 minutes. And the shop is going to charge you an hour rate to do this. And then they'll have to charge you for a diagnostic fee and everything like that. Because no matter what you tell them, driver side or passenger side isn't working, they've got to tell you, we've got to run a diagnostic on your system. So that's probably about $100 for a diagnostic fee. And then usually what they'll do is if you do the work through them, they'll give you that $100. But even then, for a $20 part, you're spending easily $120 to $150 for somebody to replace that actuator. And sometimes more, depending on what they want to do. I mean, they could be sketchy and just charge you for random stuff that you don't need. So just watch my videos. I show you quite a bit of maintenance on the Buick Enclaves, and if you do have a Suburban, check out my videos too. I've got some maintenance coming up on those. Got to replace some knock sensors and an oil pressure switch on my Suburban I got. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.